Hey guys, welcome back for another YouTube video. Strap yourselves in because this is going to be, I'm not going to make it too long, but an important one nevertheless. And we're going to start things off with looking at the main headline from yesterday, which is the fact that BlackRock launches private trust offering direct Bitcoin exposure. This is huge news. Not only was it huge news that BlackRock were partnering with Coinbase, or the ALLIN arm of BlackRock was partnering with Coinbase, but now BlackRock are officially offering Bitcoin exposure to their clients. BlackRock is the largest asset manager in the world with nearly $10 trillion under management. This is massive, and this, I think, is setting things up. Crypto is the new asset class and is going to do phenomenally. It's going to become a 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, whatever $1 trillion market cap. It's going to do exceptionally well into the future. But for now, we've got to weather the storm. We've got to ride things out. All the bulls out there, I believe, are going to be wrong. This is not the start of the new bull market. We've reiterated that time and time again. The title of yesterday's video was Bitcoin is going to 100K. And I think that really captured a lot of the emotion out there. Relief rallies are relief rallies for a number of reasons. One of them is because people start to believe in the rallies, and they don't zoom out and look at the bigger term picture. Now, for all we know, this could indeed be a bottom. It's just my bias that this is not bottoming structure and that this is not the bottom for the cryptocurrency market. I think we are going to see potentially lower lows, and my portfolio position really echoes that. The main thing to take away, and we've got some really interesting stuff to get into, guys, looking at all sorts of things, like the fact that if you look at the S&P rally, it's not, it's not really done well in terms of volume supporting this move. That's the same for crypto. It's going up on very low volume, which means there's no conviction, in my opinion, to this move to the upside. But we will talk about that. But BlackRock offering this, the fact that this is, in my opinion, massive news and hasn't moved the cryptocurrency market positively. We spoke about on my daily Bitcoin update video, we told you, everybody this morning, look, we're going short. Now, do we end up getting out of them? Do we reclaim 24K potentially? But yesterday, I felt like the crypto market was just trolling because we had this beautiful run nearly up to 25K. In fact, I think we at one point we didn't quite get above 25K in terms of the wick. And then look at the wick on this candle. It ate right the way down and actually didn't close above 24K. That tells you that there's a ceiling above you that you can't get below. So for me to go bullish here and look for longs, we need to reclaim 24K, and I'll echo that onto altcoins. Wasn't the case. You don't get this kind of stuff anywhere. We've actually become somewhat unpopular as a result of telling you guys how I see it. So you've got lots of other YouTubers out there that just want to blow smoke up your ass and keep you guys watching their channel. At the end of the day, YouTube isn't my main source of income. In fact, it's not really a massive source of income whatsoever. So I can afford to tell you how I see things, whereas lots of other people can't out there. And for me, I still think ultimately, given the overall situation that we're in from a macroeconomic standpoint, things look not so pretty. There's not a supporting narrative there, and there doesn't need to be. But not only is the chart not supporting the narrative that the bull market is now back in, the overall sort of macro stance isn't supportive. And we've done so many things on this channel, whether that be look at the M1 money supply, whether that be look at global liquidity, whether that be, delve into different sections of the economy that don't look so hot, which is what we're going to do in a minute. But this is huge news. Investment manager BlackRock has launched a private trust focused on Bitcoin. It will be the first trust offering Bitcoin exposure. And the fact that BlackRock are doing this, we've spoke about BlackRock's involvement in the crypto space. We know that they are the main custodian for USDC, which is why I'm, in terms of a stablecoin, that's the one that I choose because I think it has more of a degree of safety than the others, although I don't think Tether's going anywhere for those sort of Tether conspiracy theorists. Well, let's get into a little bit of more news. So this is huge. The fact this didn't move the cryptocurrency market really, I think, reflects the overall sentiment and what kind of a market we're in. Very much a downtrend. Spoken about this time and time again. Let's just do it again very quickly. There's no divergences here. Let's get the stochastic RSI. That's really more of something I'll use if I'm like day trading or scalping. There's no what you'd want to see on the RSI is something like this. Yeah. And then you're putting in that bullish divergence. And then you can go, okay, well, maybe technically there's reasons to get behind this rally. We've not seen that yet. This is still a downtrend until proven otherwise. That's the main thing for me. And as somebody who's got quite a decent amount of capital, it's risk to reward. Right now, the risk far outweighs the reward, in my opinion, of dumping it all back into the market. This is very interesting. So Nat Gas is about to make a new high right when everyone thought inflation was over. Isn't that interesting? This is perhaps the most important macro development happening today. Wait until this turns into another domino effect for other commodities to rise. So everyone's, we had and this is the thing, we've also had another 8.5 CPI print 3 months ago, and everyone was doom and gloom about it. We had one and everyone's going, yeah, it's great. Inflation's coming. What the Fed's doing is working. The problem you've got is I believe inflation is going to stay persistently high. I don't think it's going to be 9.1% every month, but it's still going to be above 6-7% for the near-term future. And the problem with that is you have inflationary pressures killing off consumers, and then you have the government or the Federal Reserve, which is a privately owned entity, essentially, actually crushing people with interest rates, crushing emerging markets. It's not. This is the main factor for me looking at markets and looking at the crypto space. Is that the kind of environment that allows crypto to flourish and really supports a new bull rally being ushered in? In my opinion, it's not. I could be absolutely wrong. We still have exposure to crypto for that exact reason, in case we are wrong. But it's only 20% or so, and very much sat in stables right now. So this is interesting. Let's actually see if we can pull up a Nat Gas chart, because I don't know what Nat Gas he is specifically talking about here. So this is oil, which is an important one to watch. This is how we knew there was going to be a lower CPI print. We also actually spoke on the day about how you might see a huge spike as people rejoice on this news. So do I have Nat Gas here? This is Nat Gas. I don't know when I drew this, but it was a long time ago. And look at Nat Gas. Look at it go. Is oil going to follow? What happens when the United States stop dumping all their oil reserves onto the open market? Because oil and energy was a massive decelerator of CPI. What else have I got on here? Wheat futures. Wheat futures actually were back at pre-war levels, which is interesting. Anyway, a bit off topic here. So don't look up, because if you do, the European electricity market may scare the hell out of you. French base and peak load prices for Cal 23, and particularly for the November to Feb period, are reaching stratospheric levels. This is the issue as well with this decelerating inflation. Now, I don't think inflation's likely to go above 9.1% for the US. UK, it's going to. And also, by the way, something I've not mentioned is we found out today that the UK has now had 2 negative quarters of recession of growth, GDP. That's recession, historically. That's how it's been defined. But this is the thing from the overall economy standpoint, right? It's the summer. Your energy bills are naturally going to decrease because you've not got your heating on. You've not, you're not putting all the lights on in the house because things are lighter. This is the issue that we've got moving into winter, certainly in your colder hemispheres. What happens to these energy prices? What happens when they stop dumping on the market and then you've got really high interest rates as well? For me, that's just not a pretty environment to be in. This is why we're majority cash right now. And, it sucks to say it, but, it is what it is. I was going to pull up a Michael Burry tweet, but okay, we'll do it. So net consumer credit balances are rising at record rates as consumers choose violence rather than cutbacks on spending in the face of inflation. Remember the saving glut problem? No more. Something helicopter cash caught people to spend again, or taught people to spend again. And it's addictive. Winter is coming. So this is showing that consumer credit is going through the roof. If you can't afford your monthly payments, what do? Because your job hasn't gone up, you're going to borrow money to make those payments. And you've probably already borrowed the money to get the car in the first place. We are going to see a debt crisis in our lifetimes. Does it have to happen now? No, it doesn't. Maybe they do something to avert it. But eventually, inevitably, you will see a debt crisis. Mark my words on this. We will see an implosion of debt. That takes out everything. It takes out actually money itself. Because if there's nothing backing the money, and money is backed by debt, what do we do? You know, and this is why it's so interesting being in the crypto space, because we've kind of landed here at the right time. You know, it came about at the right time, which makes me somewhat suspicious in Bitcoin's origins. But anyway, this was interesting. This was from Alessio. Well worth a follow, this guy, actually. He's put up some great stuff. I think he's taken Mad Men's picture. Lots of people on Twitter that do that. They take, like, you know... Anyway, so volume on balance, the market is rising on thin air. So it's not quite rising on thin air, but it's rising on very low volume, which is telling because it doesn't support the move. We've said this for Bitcoin for a long time now. You know, if this is the bottom, do you not think your institutions would have loaded up for this being the bottom, ready for that huge upside that's supposed to be coming? Well, we're not seeing that show up. You know, because they're pretty good at getting in at the bottom, guys. And you can see this is obviously you've got the volume in blue, and then you've got this is the S&P. So this whole rally has been on extremely low volume. The volume hasn't supported it. And what I'll do actually is I'll switch to the monthly. You know, and you can actually really get a good view here of where the volume is. So what's got higher volume? The down legs. Up legs, low volume, down legs, higher volume. And we spoke about all of this in quite a bit of detail, you know. So it shows you it's a seller's market for now. We want to see the vice versa happen, where you see the huge volume on the up legs and the lower volume on the down legs. Well, it doesn't have to be huge. It just has to be proportionate. What else was I going to show you guys? This is a Food Frenzy. US producer and consumer price gains for food show no signs of slowing down. Food inflation, fastest increase since 1974 in July. You guys will notice me do that because I'm dyslexic. I always get, like, when I'm reading something, I'll always, even though I can see it, I'll always say the 4 in front of the 7, whereas it's 1974. I'm sure some of you have picked up on that. So no signs of slowing. Again, you know, we saw energy, which is back on the rise, be one of the main drivers. Now, this is interesting.
But I would say that
I'll play it quickly because this should have been a sign to get out, in my opinion. Certainly, we did say a couple of videos ago, if you've got Ethereum and you don't think this is the bull market, if you want to hold it forever, fine, do whatever you want. But if you're spot trading, always a good idea to take profits. That's one of the main things in regards to trading, whether you're a swing trader, whether you're a scalper, whether you're more of just an investor-based trader. Always take profits because they can go just as quick as they came. So I'll play this. This was interesting.
Look, Coinbase, look, it's a new day.
It is a new day.
It's a new
and
day.
By the way, it is a day in which
up.
we got a non-hot CPI number, and the S&P is up 1.5%.
Oh,
that's helpful.
That's when you buy Ethereum, right?
Oh, I think that's what it says in the
says buy
Ethereum playbook.
Buy Ethereum from Jim Cramer. Get out of Ethereum right now, guys. That's all I've got for you in this video. We'll see how the day transpires. You know, could this be a pullback from the broader uptrend? Yes, it absolutely could. Could we keep going up? Yes, we absolutely could. You know, we have levels around about that 26K range, and then you could be pushing up to 28. But show me that that's what you're going to do. Don't just hope that that's coming, because hope is not going to get you anywhere. Show me the strength here. Don't show me a close after a really good day, at below 24K, which you were struggling to get above on just boring normal days. You've had all the confidence behind you, and yet you've fallen essentially at one of the big hurdles, which is 24K. Let's get above it, and then let's look for the longs. Whilst we're below it, we look for the shorts. Made that very clear on the earlier video that we released this morning. Dollar showing a bit of strength, but dollar sold off consistently. You know, we want to see a real spike up here for the dollar, and that will really support the bear case. So there's always two sides to a market. It's up to you guys which one you choose. I'm just here showing you what I'm thinking about and sort of incorporating into my daily regime. That's all I've got for you in this video, guys. If you've enjoyed the content, like as always, appreciate it. So is a comment, and I look forward to seeing each and every one of you in the next YouTube video. Have a fantastic day, guys. See you in the next one.